everybody, how are you? Welcome to my channel. Today I'm here to talk about several things. First of all, I wanted to talk a little bit about some herbal things that I'm doing, and I'm particularly enamored right now with holy basil, also known as tulsi, and I have a new crystal that I'm enjoying, and a new deck. So those are the things that I thought I would chat about today. So I thought I would start off with holy basil. So this is just a little snippet off the top. I unfortunately had harvested a lot, not the whole plants. I just kind of keep trimming them down. And then they grow back and I trim them down, but I had just done a trim and they're in the dehydrator drying. I'm going to use them for a tea blend. And so I only had like a few little pieces with no flowering tops, but I wish I could put the smell out on the video. It smells so good. So holy basil, tulsi, is an Ayurvedic herb, and it's from that Materica medica, and it's been in use by Ayurvedic practitioners for thousands of years. Ayurvedic medicine is actually even older than TCM, traditional Chinese medicine. It's really been around for a while, and you could take a whole college course, a whole study in Ayurvedic, your life study really. So I don't know that much about Ayurveda, but I do love holy basil. And holy basil is in the mint family, like our culinary basil is, but it's not the same plant. There are actually several varieties of holy basil. This is the one that I grow, and it does, if you look at it, it does look similar to our culinary basil, but it is not, as I said, not the same plant. Holy basil is actually considered sacred and holy to in the Hindu tradition. And many families, I don't know, I have not been to India, so I cannot say all, but many families in India have a holy basil plant growing outside their home, maybe even one inside their home. It is a part of their spiritual practice. They actually pray with and to that plant on a daily basis. I am so enamored of this plant. I love it, not just for its health benefits, but it's just so calming and soothing, and makes me feel at peace. And it makes a delicious tea as well. So as I said, I'm drying some now. A friend of mine last year gave me a plant that she thought was regular basil, but it was holy basil. So I grew it in my garden last year. And when it came to be starting to get chilly in the fall, I thought, oh, I don't want this to die. And obviously I live in Massachusetts on the northeast coast of the United States, and this climate is a lot different most of the year than India. So yeah, we're not going to have the same kind of growing season here as in India. So I dug it up and potted it, and I brought it in and I wintered it over. I put it in a sunny window, and it was very happy, lovely, grew. I cut little snippets off and made little cups of tea here and there over the winter. And then about April, which is probably about maybe 6 weeks too early to put it back outside, it started to drop its leaves and it started to turn yellow. And I was like, no, please just hang on 6 more weeks and I can put you outside. So I thought, I don't think this plant is going to make it 6 more weeks. So I decided to take some cuttings and see if I could root it. Well, I did. So I ended up with 6 plants And when June rolled around and it was warm enough here to put the basil outside, I put it outside in my garden. And I took the plant that I thought was kind of half dead, and I thought, oh well, I might as well replant it. And it's flourishing. All of them are flourishing. So I have 7 holy basil plants, and I've been harvesting them all summer, making different things. So one of the things that I am working on is this holy basil glycerate. And so I chop, mince up the holy basil flowering tops. So if you've ever seen a regular culinary plant flower, which you're actually not supposed to let culinary basil flower because it affects the taste in a negative way. So that doesn't happen with holy basil. So you cut up and mince up the flowering tops, and then I pour food grade organic vegetable glycerin over it. And this I started July 24th, and it is now August 27th. So it's been about a month. I'm going to let it steep another 2 to 3 weeks, and then I'll strain it off, and I will have this wonderful holy basil glycerate that tastes like heaven. So why would I want this? Why would I want holy basil? Why would I grow holy basil? Well, holy basil is what herbalists call an adaptogen. And again, you could take a whole course on what's an adaptogen, so I'll try to narrow it down to a few sentences. But an adaptogenic herb is an herb that does just that. It helps your body adapt. It helps your body be in balance. And so an adaptogenic herb is an herb that you could take, for example, for blood pressure. So if your blood pressure is too low, the adaptogenic herb will help your blood pressure come up. If your blood pressure is too high, it would help bring your blood pressure down. So it helps your body come into balance, or it helps your body adapt. They're very, very much known for helping your body adapt and deal with stress. So modulating your body's response to stress. And over time, when you take holy basil in particular, but many of the adaptogenic herbs, which you do take long term, it helps your body get into this calm and peaceful state so that you don't immediately go into that fight or flight mode. You take a little bit of a longer time. Now, if you really have a reason to go into fight or flight, like, I don't know, a tiger's chasing you, yeah, that will happen. But if it's just, someone cut you off in traffic, instead of immediately going to that place of, it takes you stay calmer. You don't overreact. So it keeps you in a place of calm and peace. And being constantly in overdrive takes its toll on your body, in particular your adrenal glands, but all different parts of your body, your heart, everything. It's not a good place to be. So holy basil is an adaptogenic herb, and it helps us deal with stress. It's also a really wonderful anti-inflammatory herb, and so it helps with chronic inflammation. And chronic inflammation is one of the underlying causes of many, many 21st century Western diseases. So, for example, heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, all kinds of issues like that. So it helps bring you out of an inflammatory state. And it helps, again, not only does it help in terms of calming you and how you react, but it calms you internally as well. It's also a good herb for the respiratory system. It helps with respiratory disorders and problems. It helps with blood sugar. Just could go on and on and on about holy basil. So I have been drinking the tea made out of the fresh herbs all summer, and I've also been, as you saw, I'm making the the glycerin, and I'm also drying so I can make tea this winter. I'm hoping that I can dig up a lot of my plants in the fall and try to overwinter them again so that I can have fresh holy basil all winter long. I do like the fresh tea. It tastes so delicious. And sometimes I'll even put a dropper full of the holy basil glycerin in with my tea to just give it a little sweetness, although it is pretty sweet just on its own. Anyway, I recommend highly that you look up holy basil. Tulsi is the Hindu name for it. And just see all the different things that it does. Well, boy, I'm at over 10 minutes and I really only meant to talk about it for 2 minutes, but anyway, that's what happens when you're an herbalist and you get talking about your favorite herbs. So, lowers anxiety, lowers stress, helps your body adapt to abnormal reactions and out of whack balances, and it tastes delicious, and it's easy to grow. So give it a try and check it out. My herbal business, West Star Health and Healing, I do sell the holy basil glycerin, and I am going to be developing a holy basil tea blend. So FYI, what do they say? Shameless plug for myself. So the second thing I wanted to talk about was a new to me stone crystal. This is called Caribbean Blue Calcite. And you can tell it's not from the Caribbean, it's actually from Pakistan. But if you've ever been to the Caribbean, you can see why it's called Caribbean Blue Calcite. It's got that beautiful same color as the Caribbean Sea. And it has that same effect, at least on me, just by looking at it. It does what that beautiful Caribbean blue water does, and that is, there's a theme here. Lowers anxiety, lowers stress, relaxes you, calms you, soothes you. So I guess this is what I'm doing, is I'm working with an herb and a stone to calm, soothe, relax, and just put me in a peaceful place. It's hard in this culture that we're living in right now to not be always stressed out. And so let's do some self-care and, do good things for our bodies so that we can stay calm and stay out of that, overdrive place. So that's my herb and my crystal. I want to talk a little bit now about the beautiful tarot. So this is the Moon Baby Tarot, and it was, and I dropped a card, so you're going to have to bear with me while I bend over and get it. It was created by Brant Palazzo of Moon Baby channel on YouTube. And what Brant did was he took the old 1970s Hoi Polloi deck, and he recolored it and reformatted it. I don't know, I'm not a graphic artist, but I wanted to compare, so I'm going to show you the majors of both decks. The Hoi Polloi was a deck that came out in the 70s, and it was marketed really more as a game than as a tarot. It's one of my favorite decks, one of my favorite Rider-Waite-Smith decks. I love the kind of kooky psychedelic colors of that deck. And I want to compare the two decks so that you can see the difference in the coloration. This deck was Kickstarter, so I backed it. As soon as I heard about it, I backed it. And here's my little card of authenticity. So it's number 22 of 1,000. You can see I backed it right away. We did make some stretch goals, and everyone got a nice card. I think people got all different cards. I got the Sun card, which I love. Wonderful. And then Brant did this amazing thing. And I mean, it says 1,000 decks, so I don't know if 1,000 decks were sold during the Kickstarter campaign, but he hand tie-dyed, and you can see I haven't even ironed this, I haven't used it yet. He hand tie-dyed for everyone on the Kickstarter campaign a beautiful cloth for us to use on our altars or as a spread cloth. And it's a nice thickness. Sometimes spread cloths are so thin that when you put your cards down, it kind of smushes all around, but that's a nice thickness. It's heavy enough so that when you put your cards down, it will stay in place. I just have to iron it. So anyway, let me just go through. I'm not going to go through the whole deck. I thought I'd just go through the majors. One of the interesting things, though, is that in the Hoi Polloi, let me just get Justice out here. Yeah, so in the Hoi Polloi, Justice is 8 and Strength is 11, even though it's a Rider-Waite-Smith deck. And with this deck, I understand that we were supposed to get a Justice, excuse me, 8 and 11 and a Strength 8 and 11, but I did not get an 11 Strength. I just got an 8 Justice. So I'm going to keep the Justice as 11 and Strength as 8 because I don't have the other, I didn't get a 11 Strength, which is fine. I'm a Rider-Waite-Smith gal, so I usually think of Strength as 8 and Justice as 11 anyway, so it's fine. So I'm having a hard time trying to decide which one I like better in terms of the two decks. And then I realized, well, I can like them both. I don't have to like one better. So one of the interesting things, and I'm going to just hold these two. This card is so much crisper and less muddy. These cards, this version, the Hoi Polloi from the 70s, are a little muddy, and the faces in particular are not very crisp, and I can't, this one you can see the line drawings on the faces are quite crisp and clear. So I really do love and appreciate how Brant cleared things up and made things crisp and clear and less muddy. So here's the Fool cards. Magician. And the Moon Baby, the colors are a little bit more pastel-y, and in the Hoi Polloi, they're much more vibrant and sometimes almost a little psychedelic. Here's the High Priestess, the Empress. So I do again like the clarity and crispness of that Empress card. Here's the Emperor. I kind of like the colors on this Hoi Polloi better than on the Moon Baby, but again, they're both lovely. Hierophant. Lovers. And you can see that the Lovers is a little bit muddy. I mean, I'm not sure. I don't know how this coloring was done on this 70s deck. Was it originally watercolors? Is that why it looks like that? But Brant, again, has really cleaned it up and crisped it up. Chariot. Strength, and I do love this strength, the color down at the bottom on the Hoi Polloi. But this one is really close. Still got that beautiful purple dress. I love what Brant did with the Hermit. Look at the Hermit's staff. It's got that lovely purple color. And he's made the Hermit look a little younger. So instead of gray hair, he's got brown hair. Wheel. Here's Justice. And you're going to see this is 8. I should have, I put them in this order so that they could match up, but in Hoi Polloi, Justice is 8. And I do love the color of that purple and crimson on the robe of Justice. Brant went with green. Hanged Man. Oh, I do love the coloration on this Death card. Oh my goodness, gorgeous. And Brant's tones are a little less vibrant, but still gorgeous. And how about the green on the horse? Temperance, and I think it's kind of hilarious. I don't know if you can see it, but Temperance has eye makeup on Hoi Polloi, but not on the Moon Baby. And again, you can just see how lovely and crisp and clean these lines have become with Brant's reworking of it all. Love both these devils. Fantastic. Tower. Star. I do love what he did with the Moon card. In case you can't tell, I'm a purple fan, and so I love that those columns are purple and the moon itself is purple. The Sun card, again, love the purple flag. Judgment. And the World. So you can see that Moon Baby tends to lean a little bit more on the side of pastel, whereas the Hoi Polloi is sort of reflective of the times it came from, because in the 70s, you know, things were neon and kind of those psychedelic colors. I thought I'd just show you the aces. Now, like the cardstock a lot. Oh, and I didn't talk about the beautiful edging. I don't know, can you see? Let me get the rest of the cards out. Beautiful pale pink edging, which I just think is fabulous. Yes, and I don't think it's going to chip. The cardstock, as I said, is lovely. I have really small hands, and I have to do what I call the sideways shuffle with my tarot cards. So because of that, cardstock is really important to me, because sometimes with the thicker cardstock, you can't shuffle it sideways, and I like to riffle shuffle. So this shuffles beautifully for my sideways shuffling. And you know, I was thinking about it, and I thought, okay, Liz, you have the Hoi Polloi, so why, in multiple Rider-Waite-Smith clonies, why do you feel the need to get another deck? So that's basically the same as the Hoi Polloi, only different colors. Oh, I didn't show you the beautiful backs. Love those. Yes, love those. Nicely done, Brant. So, why did I get that? Well, because this one is out of print, and to replace it would be, you know, $150, $200, and I didn't pay anywhere near. I don't think I even paid $50 for this one, but whatever. And I just love it. And so I figure this one I can use without worrying about. The cardstock's lovely. You know, I just like having both of these decks. And I wanted to support Brant's efforts in terms of making this deck. And I had no idea when I signed on to the Kickstarter that we were going to get all these little goodies, which was kind of a bonus. So anyway, I'm looking forward. I have not used this deck in a reading yet. I was kind of keeping it in order so I could do this video. So now I will begin to use it, and I'm looking forward to using it. And I want to thank Brant for making such a quality product, and for bringing things to us in a wonderful timeline, and for being so open and honest during the Kickstarter campaign about the progress of the deck. So anyway, that is Moon Baby Tarot, and compared to the original Hoi Polloi. So let me know, which one do you prefer? Do you have both? Did you back the Moon Baby even though you had the Hoi Polloi? I'd love to hear in the comments your thoughts about these two decks. So happy summer, everyone. Enjoy what's left, another month or so until we get to the equinox. And bright summer blessings to you all.